You've come here to learn what theory you need for the Grade 5 theory examination. Not for the exams in Grade 1 theory, Grade 2 theory, Grade 3 or Grade 4 theory. So there's little point in looking at scales in the piecemeal fashion of going through each graded theory book. Book 1, Book 2, Book 3 and 4, and then Book 5. Nor is it wise to start with Grade 5 and just teach you the surface of Grade 5 without giving you the understanding of the earlier grades. So I'm going to turn things on their head and cover everything you could possibly need to know about major and minor scales in just these 7 video lessons. If you're a pianist and heading towards Grade 6, you ought to be able to play pretty much every single major and every single harmonic minor scale too. And ideally, most, if not quite all, of the melodic minor scales. If you can't, I really do recommend you visit my guide to scales here. In these 7 lessons, I want to give you a straightforward way of recognizing the key of any piece of music you might be playing just by looking at the key signature, that collection of sharps or flats gathered together immediately after the clefs at the beginning of each stave. So, welcome to Lesson 1. Don't forget to visit the website to get your printable support material. In this lesson, we're going to be covering the following: the scale of C major, what is a major scale, and major scales with sharp key signatures. There are key signatures made up of just sharps, key signatures made up of just flats, but remember, there is one key signature which has no sharps or flats at all, and that is where we're going to start. You probably already know that if you're playing a major scale and it has no sharps or flats, you are playing the scale of C major. Here it is. Played just on the white keys of the piano: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and finally C, upwards and downwards. If you look at your keyboard, you'll see that there are black keys between C and D, D and E, F and G, G and A, and between A and B. That means that the gaps, or to give them the proper term, intervals between these notes, C to D, D to E, F to G, G to A, and A to B, are all what we call tones, shown here by the letter T. And you'll see that there's no black key between E and F or between B and C. And the intervals there are what we call semitones, indicated by the letter S. And obviously, a semitone is half a tone, or a tone is the same as 2 semitones. And we can go back to our C major scale and label where the tones and semitones are like this. So we can see that starting on C and going upwards by a tone, another tone, then a semitone, then a tone, and another tone, and another tone, and finally a semitone, we arrive at C an octave higher, and we've played a major scale, the scale of C major. So that is the scale of C major. But if you think logically for a moment, if we start on any key of the piano or on any note on any instrument, and then go upwards using the pattern tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, we will create the major scale starting on that note, like this. Pick a note at random, upper tone, a semitone, a tone, a tone, a tone, a semitone. Therefore, take some time now to memorize this. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, as it is the pattern for all major scales. Have a short break to do so. Okay, now for major scales with sharp key signatures. Here's our C major scale, and for reasons which will become clear soon enough, I'm going to chop it into two halves. And you'll see that each half has the same pattern, tone, tone, semitone, which means that the top half, beginning on G, is actually the beginning of a new major scale, beginning on G, the scale of G major. And we can complete this new scale by adding the next four notes, with D, E, F, and G. But if I play this, we'll hear a wrong note. And that is because our new scale's second half hasn't followed the tone, tone, semitone pattern, but tone, semitone, tone. So we need to correct this, and we can do so by sharpening the F to F sharp. So now we know that the key of C major has no black keys, no sharps or flats, but the key of G major has one sharp. Here it is, F sharp, taking the place of F natural. And if we were playing a piece of music in the key of G major, rather than sharpening each and every F to F sharp, it's just easier to put a key signature of F sharp after the clefs. So we sharpened the seventh note of the scale. Okay, what if we chop our new G major scale into two halves? The last four notes of G major are the beginning of a new major scale beginning on D. I'll play it down an octave. D major, and we can add the next four notes to complete it, A, B, C, D. But again, we find a wrong note, and we have to sharpen the seventh note of our new scale, so C becomes C sharp. So D, E, F sharp from the G major scale, G, A, B, C sharp, D. There's our D major scale with F sharp and C sharp. And now we could gather together all our sharps into the new key signature of F sharp and C sharp. By now, I hope you've realised what we could do to our new D major scale. Yes, we can chop it into two halves and grow a new scale from the second half, which begins on A, to create an A major scale. Remembering to sharpen the seventh note, which is G, to G sharp. C sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. And now we could gather together all our sharps into a new key signature of F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. You've definitely realised now, I hope, that we can repeat the process to create E major. Sharpen the 7th note, D, to D sharp. And this has a key signature of 4 sharps, F, C, G, and D. And again, to create the next scale, beginning on the 2nd half of our E major scale, this is going to become a B major scale. I'll do it down an octave. And sharpening that 7th note, the A becomes A sharp. So there we have B major. It's got 5 sharps in it, F, C, G, D, and A. And if we take the top half of that B major scale, that begins on F sharp, we can create an F sharp major scale, sharpening the 7th note, not E, but E sharp. Yes, that's E sharp, a white key on the piano being called A sharp. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. And we need to call it E sharp rather than F because we've got to cover every single letter of the alphabet. We can't do this. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, F, F sharp, F natural, D sharp, C sharp, B, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp. You have to have all letters of the musical alphabet there. So we have E sharp. And again, if we look at that scale and take the last 4 notes, beginning on C sharp, I'll do it down an octave, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, already in the key signature, G sharp, A sharp, and the 7th note, sharpen it, it's not B, it's B sharp, C sharp. So you have 2 white key sharps, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp. So we've added in B sharp, and again we can create a key signature of 7 sharps, F, C, G, D, A, E, B. And let's just get rid of any doubt as to why we have white key sharps. Try labelling the notes of C sharp major, calling E sharp and B sharp by their enharmonic names. C sharp, D sharp, F, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C, C sharp. What a mess. Let's fix it by using the enharmonic equivalents of F natural and C natural, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp. Now for 2 very easy facts to learn. To find out the key of a sharp key signature, you look at the last sharp of any sharp key signature and you just go up 1 semitone, and the note you land on is the key note of the major scale. So if the last sharp is F sharp, you go up to G and you are in G major. And here's the second very important fact. Sharps always appear in a key signature in this order: F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Always. No exceptions. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. And to help you remember the order of FCGDAEB, learn this single sentence. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. Learn that sentence before the next lesson, where you'll be delighted to find that it is also very useful when we start studying key signatures with flats in them. Remember, all this information is also available on the printable support material on the website. See you soon.